then you're liable to pass me on the interstate between about the first week of August and the first week of September. You're liable to look over and see some redneck blowing a bugle tube going down the road. You know, I just love it. My wife.
And that is something that I wanted to talk about, because he'd come in here and he'd have a bugle tube, and I'm like, dude, don't blow that. My hearing ain't bad, or my hearing's not good. You'll have my tinnitus going over the roof. It's bad enough when I have to do it when I'm hunting. But to be inside the cab of a truck that's loud anyways and blowing a bugle tube with windows up.
My neighbor has really caught the bug. He's hunted with me the last 2 years, and we live about a mile and a quarter apart. It's up, you know, we're in.
So he calls you in the middle of the night at 12 o'clock and goes, would you please put that damn bugle tube up?
No, he comes to my house to shoot, because I shoot bows. I've got targets from 10 to 60 yards, and you don't have to move around to shoot.
Yeah.
So when he's coming down, he'll jump on the four-wheeler, and I'll know when he's coming because I'll hear him bugle, and then we'll get to talking back and forth, bugling, kind of getting that, you know,
yep.
This bugle's this
playing
far.
The game.
Yep. Yeah, being able to judge that range and, you know, turn your head and see how it makes a difference.
All right, I got to throw this in here, folks. Don't judge me.
You've been judged, Alan.
Yeah, I don't
The
care.
internet, everybody on the internet.
Everybody on the internet, I'm judged, I'm going to hell. Here's how this happened. So for 4 months, or actually it's been 6 months now since it started. Back in March, I woke up one day with severely medium grade pain in my spine between my shoulder blades. And over about a 2 month period, it got to the point it just kept getting worse and worse that it was debilitating. Well, over that time, I'd smoked most of my life, and I'd quit about 8 years ago. This chair that you see me sitting in is the only place in my household that I could get comfortable. And out of boredom, I would sit here and drink coffee during the day and water, chain smoke cigarettes, and after 5 o'clock, it was bourbon and cigarettes, or bourbon and water and cigarettes. So I've made up my mind when I leave here on Sunday morning at 3 o'clock, I ain't taking no cigarettes with me.
Good for you.
And I promise you, I don't want to pay for them in Idaho, because everything in Idaho is 3 times the cost of here. Fuel.
I swear, when you get west of the Mississippi,
everything's, and it's the transportation cost. You know, you think about it, the majority of things in the country are made east of the Mississippi. Cigarettes, good alcohol, bourbon.
Especially when you get north of 40.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man.
Me neither, man. I'm so happy. I hope this works out and they close out your deal.
Yeah.
So that you feel comfortable enough to go. I'll be pretty sad if you don't. But there's always next year.
If I don't, I'm sure there's somebody in Kentucky that'll let me tag along with them.
Well, I can guarantee you I can get you some guys to go.
Yeah.
But all that aside, I don't know how this is going to play out next year, but I'll know December the 1st. But there's some plans being put together right now. If I do not draw Idaho on December the 1st, I'm going to apply as long as you guys hunt is productive. And from everything that the scouts that were out a month or so ago said, every direction we went, there were elk.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like a target-rich environment. It's an over-the-counter tag. And
can't be advertising.
Dude, you know what? I'm not that guy.
Me neither.
But
you know me, I tell everybody
that'll be a decent hunt. But prior to that, I'm working on an Alaska moose and brown bear hunt.
Dude.
And caribou.
I so want to go to Alaska.
Well, we might be able to arrange that, but you may not get to go to Idaho because Mama might shut you down. I've got 2 really good friends. The guy that I'm hunting with on this Idaho trip, and one of the greatest friends we made on the planet from Idaho. Bob is post 70 years old, and he used to spend every summer in Alaska. And him and a couple friends of him, and I'm not sure what their situation is, but that's what their deal was. They came back right after moose season. They'd come back to Idaho, gather everything up, and then he winters in Arizona because he and his wife are both up in years. So Chip started talking to him last year. Like, Chip has sold his successful business, firearms business, and even long before him selling it, when we'd be in camp together, he's like, you know, my dream hunt is I want a caribou hunt, kill a moose, and a brown bear. I'm like, that's not unobtainable.
No, it's not.
So he and Bob's been talking all this time, and I'm not sure how they worked out what they did, but they lost the first week of the 2-week hunt. But they left yesterday out of Tacoma, and that's where they're at right now, is in Alaska.
Sweet.
So Chip lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He drives his rig, his camper, and his truck up, and he parks it with one of our other friends that we made there. And these guys, it's like you kill a bull at dark, and they're not even on the mountain hunting. They're at home in Coeur d'Alene or 45 minutes from there. They're in the truck and they come. You know, it's that kind of friendship.
Yep.
And most people from Idaho don't like foreigners, and that's what they call a non-resident. If you're from Washington, you're an apple maggot. If you're from California, I won't even tell you what they call them. But every night, after like midway through the first year we went up there, every night there's like 6 trucks at our camp because we're on the way out from the hunting ground.
Yep.
And these guys just start piling in, and we drink some beers, and hell, if they're hungry, I cook for them. I'm not a stinge about that.
So you guys are going to learn if you haven't already. This guy
I haven't
right
cooked
here,
yet.
He can cook. I spend a lot of time on this porch eating food that he fixes on this smoker right here.
And I will
amazing.
plug RecTech. They are not a sponsor of this channel. Wish they were, because them smokers are expensive, and so are the pellets. But I've owned 6 or 7 different pellet grills. Well, and I've owned a couple of these with other people. But the difference is a difference, because when you set the temperature and it goes to it, it doesn't change. And every other one I've ever used or owned will fluctuate 30 to 50 degrees in the cycle every time it pumps pellets into it.
Your old grill.
The one that gasified?
The funniest story ever. We got a mutual friend. He's my best friend.
Wormy.
No, not Wormy.
Wormy jumped off the porch that night.
But it was Chitwood. David Chitwood.
He was, both of them jumped off the porch.
Well, Chitwood was sitting here. Chitwood